Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Health and Wealth. My name is Mike, coming to you from a perspective of someone that has spent too much money and hasn't invested enough to retire. So today we're going to dive into the topic that can be a real game changer for your finances. Creating a spending calendar. If you've ever found yourself wondering where all your money went by the end of that month, this video is for you. So let's jump right in. Before we get into the how, let's talk about the why. Creating a spending calendar will help you visualize where your money is going. A spending calendar will help you better plan for your month ahead, for your future. A spending calendar can be there as a guide to your spending. And a spending calendar is there to help you with your financial future. Let's take a grip, let's take a hold of what you're spending, and let's reduce it so that we can spend the money on ourselves in investments. So the first thing we're going to do is create a spending calendar. So I spent a number of hours on YouTube actually learning how to create a spending calendar. There are really great videos out there that go into extreme detail in Excel. For me, I tried to keep up, but it took me multiple hours to kind of keep up to them. So I've kind of figured out how to make my own calendar. Now, this comes with no formulas. I think it's just a really great calendar, simple, easy. So I'm going to go ahead and build that right now so you can watch it happen live. I've gone ahead and created a calendar here for February. You can see February 2024. So what we have here is every single day. So to do it, it's extremely simple. There are other ways where you can create formulas to do this. So if you're the type of person that knows Excel very well, then for sure use the formulas because they're going to help you every single month with creating your trends, and they're going to go in there, create your calendar a little bit quicker. But for people that are new to Excel, what I've done is I grabbed an Excel out of Google Sheets, which if you have a Google account, you have the accessibility to Google Sheets. I've created February 24th, so all I did was grabbed a row here and kind of expanded it out a little bit so I can type in February 2024. You can see I've changed the font for February here to 17. I've also bolded it to make it a little bit clearer for us to see. Down below, I went ahead and grabbed the next row, made that slightly bigger so I can enter the days: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then right below that, another row. Right, so that's going to be our third row so far. Made that a little bit smaller so I can just input the days here. And if we go ahead, we can take a look at our calendar. February did indeed start on a Thursday. And so that's why we have first, second, third. Our fourth row will be a little bit bigger. This is where we're going to input our expenses that we've spent. And once I'm done sharing this calendar, I'll go back up to January to show you what I've done there. But then our fifth row, again, small with the numbers, sixth row big with what you're going to input that you've spent your money on, and all the way down to the end of the month. At that point, we can basically just grab it, copy it, and scroll down, and then paste it down below here. Now, for March, we're just going to change the date to March. So I'll go ahead and do that. Let's see here, March. There we go. Let's see. Oh, maybe not. Maybe we can't just do March, but we'll try. I copy and pasted February's calendar here down below to the next underneath February's month. And so I basically just clicked on here, and you can type in March 2024, hit enter, it's saved. And then at that point, you just need to change your dates around. So this is where the formulas come into play. If you're good with Excel, you don't have to change the dates around. It will do it for you. But for me, I think it's pretty simple here. It takes about 2-3 minutes to make this happen. So March 1st happens on a Friday. So you just change that to 1st, 2nd. Well, I'll just do the whole thing right now. Let's time it. Let's see how long it goes. 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I'm pretty good at counting, eh? 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28th, 29th, 30, and it looks like I need one more row. So 31st, right there. So for these ones, they weren't bolded because February had 28 days in it. And you know what? I'm going to actually put it down one more row down here. One more row. Let's delete that. Go here. Will it allow me to type it? Perfect. It did. So again, we're going to hit Control B, like Bravo, to bold that. And then all we need to do, so we have the first here. We can take our expenses column, make it a little larger. Keep that one the same, a little larger. A little larger. This one here, we need to make that a little smaller. But this one a little larger. And remember that we're doing this just so we can track what we spend our money on. When you do that, it's a psychology thing. What you're doing is you're essentially telling yourself that I need to stop spending money on chips, on makeup, on frivolous things that potentially you don't necessarily need in your life. That's what I'm using this for. And there we go. I've created the March calendar. Let's just make sure it is correct. Let's go take a look at the calendar itself. Does March end on a Sunday? It does. It does indeed. All right, fantastic. So that is good news. We've done it correctly, which is awesome. Delete that. Put it in there. There we go. All right, good. Now, if you wanted to, you can definitely change your font. You can change your how large these numbers are. For me, that's fine at 12, but for you, you may want it a little bit larger. Definitely okay. So now that we created March's calendar, let's go take a look at what I've done so far for January and for February, and we'll see if it's similar to what I have here for March. We'll take a look here at what I have here for, this is January. I've created some categories for me for my spending. I've taken a look at what I've spent money on in the past and created these categories. Now, for you, you may want to create different categories, but I've created entertainment, groceries, car payments, restaurant, mortgage, gym, and gas. So let's go with the entertainment. I am really trying to restrict myself on going out and about and you know, going to the movies, spending money on things I don't really need to because I have a financial goal that I'm trying to hit. So I've set a target of $100. Now this month we'll go through the calendar. I spent $609, way over that spending cap. Now, for me, I actually had not thought about spending a spending calendar prior to spending this money. So we'll see if that changes when we come to February. For groceries, I have set a limit for $600 for what I spend on groceries. I spent $653. Car payment and insurance $477 a month, so I hit that right on the dot. Restaurants, $100 is what I've set. So I have a really bad habit of going to fast food. So we're looking to correct that habit, and I'm hoping this spending calendar will allow that to happen. I was also out of town for work for a couple days, so we spent a little bit more than I wanted to here with $162. My mortgage monthly that I pay, the other half pays an amount as well, so is $1,200 a month. I was able to not pay anything this month because we had some other bills to pay, so I paid those instead. For the gym, $40 a month is what I've set here. I go to a local gym, which has a gigantic pool. So if you watch other videos of mine, which I'll link up here, you'll notice I do that every single day. So I spend $40 a month on that. And what's nice is I work from home. So I don't spend a lot of money on gas, which is fantastic. My car is generally parked in the garage. And so I'm expecting to pay $60 a month This month I spent 102. Like I said, I was out of town for work. So most of that will be expensed through work. So I can probably take the red off. So green, good. You met your goal. Red, bad. You didn't meet your goal. How can we correct that next month? That's what I'm going for here. So here's the month in which I spent money. Again, red, bad, green, good. What color is this? Peach? Something like that. Peach meant that that was to be expected. So you can see on the very first day of January, I spent $27.76 on entertainment. This really cool Christmas light set up near my house here. It was pretty awesome, actually. So definitely worth it. The Peach Day on the second chiropractor appointment, I got most of that back through my benefits. No pun intended with the back. Next day, gym membership on the 3rd, so that's to be expected as well. Green Day is coming up here. These are 3 days in a row of not spending money, which is a new world record for me. We're going to try and keep that thought process alive. Another Peach Day, $240 payout for a football pool. That wasn't necessarily all my money, of course. That was for all of us that have pooled our money together. Got a Green Day here. We got a huge credit card payment on this day, $2,355. Way too much money spent on the credit card in December, but I make it a priority in my budget to pay my credit card off in full. I definitely don't want to be paying 19% interest on a credit card. So if I'm going to spend it, I better have that money in my account so that I can make sure I pay that off. Next week here on the 10th, a chiropractor again. Here goes my car payment, $194 every 2 weeks. And then we have Costco gas for me. Costco gas is where it's at. It's always 2 to 4 cents cheaper than everywhere else in town. So that's where I get my gas. Here's some grocery spending at Costco, $273. Again, I'll link another video up top about spending money at Costco. Talk to me about you. Do you go to Costco? Are you spending a lot of money that maybe you shouldn't? How many times have you been to Costco and it talks about, or you see the sale price? Oh, it's a sale. I need to buy this. But you had no intention in buying that when you went there. That's what happened here. It doesn't cost $273 for groceries, but whenever you start adding things that you didn't expect to purchase, then that price definitely adds up quickly. More Green Days, another grocery day. Probably went to a real grocery store this time, not Costco. Spent a lot less. A Green Day, chiropractor, and then Subway for the family. So there's your restaurant from down below. Your car insurance, couple Green Days. Breakfast, $73. Oh my goodness. We had some friends come into town. They have given us so many clothes for our daughter, so we wanted to treat them for that. $109 in groceries. Next day, McDonald's. Netflix. Restaurant. More restaurant. 2 times that day, apparently. Oh, my goodness. And then gas as well. This is what I was talking about, Toronto. I guess I didn't say Toronto, but we went on a company trip. So those were both expenses that I could expense to the company. So we could actually probably minus both of those. Green Day, more McDonald's on the way home from that company trip. And then we had some pizza that night, so more restaurant. Next day, home improvements here, another restaurant. As you can see, oh my goodness, Green Day, Costco, Green Day, Green Day. So overall, how many Green Days is that? 13 Green Days? 13 Green Days out of 31. So for me, my goal is to bring that down or bring that up. More Green Days, less red days in the future. You can see down below here, again, I take all of those totals and I put them into my tracker. This creates that mindset, that psychology for me. I moved down to February here. I haven't inputted anything yet. We're halfway through the month right now. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my credit card bill because that's how I pay for everything, through credit card. And I'll just start plugging away in here all of the totals. And definitely from last month and this month, there has been a major improvement now that I have a spending calendar in what I spend my money on. Less trips to Costco, less fast food. Definitely thinking about your grocery list before you head out. Now that I've created a spending calendar, it's time to start thinking about subscriptions that we're not spending, that we're not using, right? So subscriptions like Amazon Prime, Apple TV, Netflix, things like that. These are things that a lot of people have that they may not use all the time, so the value may not be there. Think about the savings you could have if you were to eliminate one of those. What about gym memberships? So prior to joining this gym, I belonged to another gym, which was less expensive, but I never went. So that's how gyms make money, right? You sign up, but you just never go. So think about the things that you're spending money on monthly that maybe you could eliminate to help you with your budget, to help you with your spending. Set up automation. So every single month or every 2 weeks, you get a paycheck, set up some automation here. So automate those payments for your bills. That way, we know our bills are going to be paid in time. Not only automate payments for bills, but automate your payment for your investing as well. If you take a small portion of every pay and you automatically put that into investments, that's money you're not going to think about anymore. If you're not thinking about that anymore, then that is automatically going to be making you money every single month. I'd love for myself to reduce my debt. So like we saw in my calendar here, we had the mortgage to pay off every 2 weeks, and we also had the car payments to pay off every 2 weeks. There's something else that I hadn't put in there, phone bill. So anybody else like me that wants to get the new phone out there? So I have a Samsung S23 Ultra. Let me tell you, when I purchased this a year ago, it was $76 a month for the phone, per month for 2 years. I wish I didn't do that. Okay. Why did I buy it? Oh man, I wanted to buy this phone so I could take pictures of the moon. I mean, the moon pictures are pretty awesome. But are they worth $76 a month for 2 years? Definitely not. So having a brand new device is great, but is there a real value there in terms of your goals of spending? So having that new shiny phone every 2 years is maybe, for me, not worth it. But for you, it could be. So removing the phone might be a way for me to reduce debt. Also, I bought a new car 2 years ago. Then COVID was in the midst of happening, and I've barely driven this car. So every single month I pay out, roughly $400 a month for a car that sits in my garage. Is that a worthwhile purchase? Not necessarily. What could I have done differently? So that's what I'm trying to go through with you. What can we do differently when it comes to purchasing a car? Maybe a used car, maybe a very gently used car that we could purchase, that we're not spending $400 a month or more on. That was fun. More on. I saw a stat yesterday. The average new car is $790 a month. Could you imagine if you had $790 extra per month? What could you do with that money? Let me know in the chat what you would do with an extra $790 a month. I also want to talk to you about creating an emergency fund, establishing an emergency fund that covers the next 3 to 6 months worth of your expenses. This is going to prevent the need to dip into your investments in case of those unexpected expenses that may arrive. So I'm a homeowner. What are some unexpected expenses? Maybe my furnace dies. Maybe the hot water tank no longer works. Maybe I need a new roof. These are all things that could pop up out of nowhere. So having an emergency fund is a really valuable tool. How about saving windfalls and bonuses? So next week, I am receiving a bonus from work, which is really great. It's a yearly bonus that I'll be getting, and so I'm pretty excited about that. So that full amount will be invested in my future. There will be no spending of extras or treating myself or anything like that. I mean, you guys saw my spending calendar. I already treat myself enough. So taking this full bonus and putting it into investments is going to help me meet my goal of retirement a lot sooner. Here's another really important thing to do: track your progress. All right. Regularly review your savings, regularly review your investment progress, celebrate your milestones to stay motivated. So create a goal, create a 3-month, a 6-month, a 1-year goal, then create a goal yearly after that and celebrate those successes. I have 4 more things that I do that I think that I could share with you. So one would be invest wisely. So I've been investing not very long, probably almost 4 years now. My first 3 years was not wise at all. A lot of meme stocks I was investing in, a lot of maybe stocks that are with companies that are not profitable. So invest wisely. So before you invest any of your money, make sure you educate yourself about the different investment options that we have out there in the world. So stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estate itself is always a winner. So do your research first. If you're new to investing, maybe reach out to an advisor that can help you make decisions, things like that. Also consider diversification to spread your risk level across different assets. So don't put all of your money into one asset or into one company. Try to diversify so that you are lowering your risk level. Here's one: stay disciplined. So consistency is the key to this. Stick to your savings plan even during market fluctuations or economic uncertainties. Like I said, the first 3 years of investing, there was a lot of time I took money out of my investments to pay bills because I didn't have a spending calendar or a budget in mind. So having that budget, having that spending calendar will help you stay consistent with your investing. I mentioned it before, but seeking professional advice if you are spending money too much, reach out to a professional who can help you, you can consult with creating a better budget for yourself. I think that's an important step for sure. Some people are just not able to stop spending. So if you're that type of person, maybe reach out to somebody, and that push could take you in the right direction. The last one I have here for us that I've written down is review and adjust. So constantly reviewing your spending calendar, constantly reviewing your budget. What are you spending your money on? What's your habits? And then adjust to it. Here's the amount of money I bring in. Here's the amount of money I put out. And this is the amount of money that I put into investments. If you have that mindset, you're going to go places for sure. We want to make sure that we have enough for our life, but also enough to put away for tomorrow. I hope this video was enlightening. I hope this video was educational for you, and I hope that you take what I was able to provide you today and use it in your own life every single day. This calendar you saw didn't take me very long to create. I think it's definitely opened up my eyes on my spending. As you saw in January, there was a lot of times where I spent more than I thought I was going to. And just having that reminder there when you're at Costco or at the mall or at the grocery store, the restaurant, it's a reminder to say, hey, I have a goal, I have a plan, let's follow through with it. Now that we've gone through the calendar together, we've gone through some techniques, I hope that I brought you enough entertainment for today that you can go ahead and hit the subscribe button for me. My channel is focused around spending money. It's also focused around investing. And then I have the health side of things where I talk about going to the gym, things like that. So if you stuck around this long, I 100% appreciate that you've done that. I hope that you hit the like button. I hope that you have an amazing rest of your day, and good luck to you in your future. Hit the subscribe button to kind of follow my journey, as well as I'm going to update the spending calendar every single month. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Mike from Health and Wealth. Have a great day.